The masts are down, and it's a long-awaited time of rest for the crew of the Montebello. These sounds are music compared to the constant thrashing of wind and waves. Sounds Peter Milkey's crew endured for 2.5 days in the Trans-Superior sailboat race.
After getting beat up for maybe 150 miles coming from Sault Ste. Marie to around the Keweenaw, things leveled out a little bit, and then we got into the Apostle Islands and we were up around 40-knot winds again.
What made this year tougher than others, the boat sailed into the wind much of the race. Not ideal conditions. Fog and rough waters mean the crew relies heavily on their instruments to keep them on course.
To finish a Trans-Superior is, I would liken to Grandma's Marathon for a runner. It's not just a Sunday cruise in the sunshine. It's a lot of hard work. We all have major respect for the lake. The lake is not something to beat, it's something to understand and work with.
At times, it's rough to eat or sleep in the quarters below deck, but the sense of accomplishment tops everything else. The quest to ply these waters safely and quicker than the others will keep more adventurers coming back for more Trans-Superior races.
Once you've done it, it's something that you carry with you your whole life.
In Superior, Jason Rice, News 6.
Well, we're good for at least 3.5, John. Good. Before they can roust us out of these.
And when I finally saw him on it, I walked on up to him and said, HMC retired. And then we shook hands, and then I took my hat off. And I said about a look-alike contest, all I need is a mustache, and he started to laugh. Yeah, I've been really excited and enjoyed it a lot.
So what, were you surprised by the reaction?
It happens every year, and each year it gets a little more important to the U.S. Navy. The Navy's Great Lakes crews hit Duluth's World Port today to find a few good men and women, prospective recruits like Jeremy Anderson of Northfield, Minnesota. He's a Coast Guard cadet now, but when he finishes high school next year, he's bound for the military.
It's helped a lot. You learn what the life is like, what they do, what the different jobs are in the Navy or the Coast Guard. And it really helps me figuring out what I plan to do.
These days, fewer and fewer high school graduates are opting for careers in the military. And one message the Navy carries into the Northland this weekend: there's still a need for young men and women to serve our country.
Because of the downsizing and that sort of thing, they tend to think that there aren't any jobs left. But we have a lot of high-tech positions. We have a number of jobs that have opened up. 1 in 4 SSD Bridge.
We're a cop on a beat. That's exactly a good analogy. We're there establishing presence. The folks that want to send drugs into the States, they know we're there. And if we're a deterrent to them, that's exactly what we want.
Commanding Officer Al Lord supervises the crew of the Clark. Their mission is mostly drug patrol in southern waters. For some, a chance to work with high-tech equipment is the reason to enlist. For others, it's following their dreams.
I joined the Navy because I love going to sea. I've been in 21 years. I'm a Command Master Chief, and I love helping the sailors, and I love being at sea. I love the water.
Navy recruiters hope showing off the USS Clark will lead them to others who love the water. People willing to begin a career defending America's waters. In Duluth, Jason Rice, News 6.
For outdoor workers like Kathy Capra, a day of rain is a day of relief this time of year, and on other days, sticky, hot, humid ones,
the mosquitoes will come up and they'll just start eating your neckline and your hairline.
It came right here and then it came up by my head, but I swatted away.
Workers find themselves focusing less on work and more on mosquitoes.
Yeah, especially when your gloves are wet and you're trying to slap the mosquitoes off of your hands.
Mosquito experts say not to worry. We're not looking at an outbreak here, but this summer's weather has set the stage for a higher than normal mosquito population.
As George would say, we've had a lot of rain this last in July. That, along with hot, humid weather, creates conditions that make for more rapid cycling of the mosquito.
But there are ways to take the bite out of these bloodsuckers.
While you can't get rid of mosquitoes altogether, you can get relief from those awful stinging bites. Hydrocortisone creams and insect repellents usually do the job. The real trick is finding one that works for you.
And while the bites may bug you, think of it this way. The average lifespan of a mosquito is only 3 weeks. Then they're gone. And hopefully your bites will be too. In Duluth, Corrine Winter, News 6.
Are sold and operating in North America, and this will mean another 100 to 150 jobs here in Duluth, and it will mean that as Northwest expands its Airbus fleet, more jobs on top of that.
And they are...
Congressman. Hey, good to see you. Welcome. Great day, isn't it? Fine, John. Wonderful. What a beautiful day. Didn't even strike it. Seen an A320 from the outside. Number of doors, emergency exits over the
Yeah. What's the difference in the two overall?
Well, this is 124 passengers, and the 320 is 150 passengers.
Right.
And it's a little bit longer aircraft for the 320 than this one. Nearly the same interior dimension.
Same seating width and all that kind of thing.
Yeah. And they have 20 of these. And
oh, he can't do that.
Corporate citizens here. I see faces like Sam, and I see faces like Jim and Mayor Doty, and you see in their eyes loyalty and commitment to Northwest. And corporations owe those duties back to the communities in which they live and they operate. And you have my firm and undying commitment in this community that we will be a good corporate citizen, we will be a good employer, and you can count on us. You can count on us long term. And just this week, a Wall Street Journal article addressed the comfort and cost factors of a number of different airliners. Specifically, has a greater range, lower operating costs, more speed, and a wider cabin. Supplier to Airbus. The largest supplier to Airbus. A fact of which I am proud, we are proud. And those figures will continue to grow as we plan to turn more a growing part of the Northwest family. I am forever in your debt for that. Probably I should say I am forever in your debt for that until the next negotiation. Oh well. In all seriousness, I'd like to thank you personally. I would also like to recognize Congressman Overstar, Major Doty, for their ongoing, most proud of them. Now, when your first red tail made its first debut in 1948, you had a dream. They said it was lawsuit to stop Northwest Airlines. I've got all the clippings. I want to tell you. Northwest lawsuit is grounded. Then we had to go to the Supreme Court, and we finally got it thrown out.
Guys, let's turn around and say hello to everybody.
Okay.
You want to get up there? Come on, Joe. All right.
Got one. Thank you.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Hey, I saw you the papers were, Dad. Huh?
Last time we got a couple of calls this morning.
Did ya?
Next.
Excuse me. Just sneak out there. I'm just getting some cover right here. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Well, what?
Yoke or control wheel in front of the pilot, we have a side stick controller. The aircraft uses what we call fly-by-wire technology, which is the same as most of your modern fighter aircraft. And the stick actually moves very little, but it's just
Take up too much of other people's time, but it almost looks like a game for TV or something like that. When all you have is just a little joystick there. It's kind of looks like
not much.
And it's just amazing. Obviously, not being someone who knows much about planes, just to see all of the gauges and buttons and dials and everything.
That's right. Difference in pilots today is they all have to know how to type. The pilot has to type right-handed, but that pilot has to type left-handed.
I'm a lefty.
There you go. Be our co-pilot.
I'd
You
be
can see
okay
what a
with it.
clean ergonomic.
You too. Get some brats.
It's very fun.
seat on the seat.
That's what you're doing.
Comfortable?
Oh, totally.
I wonder how much it depreciated.
No. I'm on ARP and Medicare, and they don't help.
Viola and Floyd Anderson have no choice but to pay what they say is an outrageous amount of money for prescription drugs.
I pay $128 a month. So, and I know there's a lot of people that goes out with a lot more than that, but still, it is high.
Many senior citizens have this same problem. Some even have to choose between saving their money and saving their health.
And they're not taking them, and then they end up in the hospital, so it's costing a lot more if they let them have these pills cheaper, so they would take it, they wouldn't end up there.
A study of Wisconsin's 7th Congressional District shows that senior citizens are paying over twice as much for prescription drugs than favored customers, like participants in HMOs or government health plans. An alarming figure to Congressman Dave Obey.
The average price for favored customers is $10 per prescription. For 7th District seniors, $44 a prescription.
Where's Medicaid? You know, are they supposed to help?
Help, politicians like Obey say, is needed, especially after hearing from concerned citizens today.
And I ran into one woman who was paying $600 a day. A day. She has no.
So who's to blame for all of this unfairness in pricing? Congressman Obey made it very clear that it's the pharmaceutical companies, not local drug stores.
In fact, some Northland pharmacies are charging customers less than the average recommended wholesale price for prescriptions, an attempt to attract business from customers like Viola, whose lives depend on their meds.
Pressure pills where if I don't take them, I can get a stroke. You know what I mean? So I have to be sure that I do take them all the time.
In Superior, Jody Grayson, News 6.
I have to, yeah. I have no. Very frustrating for you. It is.
The annual Bayfront Blues Fest is known for its great tunes. But there's another sound that's music to the ears of local retailers.
Yeah, I'll pay for it. Yeah. A sweatshirt too?
Yeah.
Cool.
Canal Park businesses geared up for the big day.
This morning we brought extra people in because of the fact that the gates don't open till 11:30, and so a lot of people are looking for things to do till the gates open up. So it's been a very busy morning so far.
And the fans haven't disappointed them.
I think the Blues Fest has to be great for the economy because everywhere you go, you see other shoppers in the from the Blues Fest that you've seen there, and they're in the shops, and so I know everybody does it. So it's got to be good.
Beautiful day with a nice cold beverage. So good.
Local retailers say the blues fans make for great business.
Well, it's kind of like grandma's. Business just booms, really.
Even with the sea of blues fans jamming to the music, the event has been scaled down this year. About 37,000 fans are expected, compared to 50,000 in years past. But folks selling their wares here say they don't notice the change.
Doesn't seem to have made a difference for the retail outlets. I mean, this is the way they had to do it, and even if as sloppy as the grounds are in that, I mean, people are enjoying themselves and they're coming out.
People like it here, man.
It'll probably pick up as the night goes on.
Fans hope to keep coming back for the toe tapping and hip moving, while retailers are ready for more big spending. In Duluth, Kim Kaiser, News 6.
This is the fly net. We just put fly nets on them. It helps keep the flies away.
Russ Geyer is getting ready for a full day's work for him and his 4 draft horses here.
Oh, about 25 years ago, we started giving sleigh rides, and then We did that for a while, and then we thought, well, maybe we could get something for these horses to do in the summertime, so we started down here.
It's not an easy job. These horses weigh about 1 ton each and require daily grooming, maintenance, and food.
He'll eat 2 55-pound bales of hay a day, that Matthew will, if you just give it to him, let him have it, you know.
The horses are suited up, then hooked up to the carriage. After Russ does a quick change into his top hat and vest, it's off they go. Riders are treated to a host of information along Duluth Lake Walk and some corny jokes about the lake.
The one fact there that's pretty important, a lot of people don't realize it, but every drop of water in that lake is wet.
Along the way, plenty of looks from the lake walk and never-ending questions about the horses.
Horses are them with the big feet like that?
Those are Shire, English Shire. Mm-hmm.
The hours are long, but surprisingly, Russ says riding up and down the lake walk over and over and over again is not monotonous, since the scenery changes daily. He says this job is the perfect way to spend the summer days.
I enjoy it. I keep going at it, and I don't know what else I would do. Me and Dick, we gotta have something, don't we?
In Duluth, Maureen Tellerico, News 6.
It would take a constitutional amendment to do what Governor Ventura wants to do. He wants to create a one-house government, something he feels the public should want.
This is an important issue. It will change the way that government does its business. It will bring government back to the people and help restore the public's trust in our elected leaders.
Ventura's plan would cut the state legislature down from 201 to 135 lawmakers. He says this will save taxpayers roughly $20 million a year.
And the savings of money, you know, if you eliminate 66 positions in staff, that's a savings of money right there. And you're also going to, I bet you're going to have a much more efficient legislative session.
The governor's plan has some strong opposition from powerful lawmakers. Senate Majority Leader Roger Moe says reducing the number of lawmakers greatly reduces voters' ability to control government.
By going to a unicameral legislature, you're in effect giving up your right to vote for some of your elected representatives.
Blum's attorney said this extra time allows his client a shot at a fair trial, a trial he says he's still confident about, since the state's findings up to this point, he says, have been minimal.
I would guess that if they had found Katie Poirier's blood anywhere, that they would be the first to know. I might be the second to know, but that you folks would all know it by now.
Here's what I say. Remember, a while ago, the judge told us not to be talking about the evidence, and there's a lot of discovery and evidence that'll keep coming in, trickling in, and when it gets filed with the court, that stuff will come in. So I won't comment on what he thinks we do or not, what we do or do not have.
Meanwhile, Katie's family members say they're waiting to find Katie or any new information that may lead to her return.
I got Katie's cross on. I think my mom gave it to her or something, and so that's what I wear. Keep Katie close.
Katie's brother Patrick sat in on the hearing. He says the family's battling with many things, among them the possibilities of a change of venue.
I wish they wouldn't. I mean, we're expecting it, but he did it. He did it here. He did it in Carleton County. Have it here.
I guess I can only go by what we saw with Antonich, and I think that it has a tremendous impact on the family. Obviously there's costs in travel, there's costs in trying to house people different places, the issue of being away from home. It has quite an impact.
the fields of Hugo. Not a great place to be hanging out alone.
This is its area, and we go through it. We may or may not see it.
While Roberta Auger's hoping to find mosquitoes, she's also hoping to avoid running into a wild black cat that's been spotted nearby.
It gives a little excitement. Makes you wonder exactly what's out in the area.
What people say they've seen over the past several months is a cat that's a lot bigger than your typical house pet. The photos taken by David Johnson behind his home over the weekend show an animal that experts are calling a black leopard. And now, for the first time, that leopard's been caught on film, and it's all anyone can talk about. It's a hot topic at the 61 stop.
We've had a couple people in the morning that have come in and said, I'm not sure, but I think I just saw the panther.
While plenty of people are talking about this wild cat that's on the loose here in Hugo, your odds are probably better at winning the Wildcat Scratch-Off lottery game than finding the real wild cat.
We're patrolling the area, but we're not, we don't have a hunt out for the cat.
Black leopards are not native to Minnesota. They come from Africa or Asia, and chances are this cat was an exotic pet that got away. Roberta Auger's just hoping it stays away.
If it scares the daylights out of me, I might jump and run. I don't know.
That's right, okay. Can we be a little tighter?
I've danced all my life, but never professionally. When you start training with a group of people who dance for a living, it's a whole new ballgame.
We start class at 9:30. Usually we're here about a half hour before to stretch and warm up, and we do an hour and a half class, and then we have a 15-minute break and rehearse till like between 4 and 5 every day.
Choreographer Robert Gardner has created many of the dance numbers performed by the Minnesota Ballet since he joined the company 7 years ago.
I love working with the dancers, but I love creating movements that tell a story or relate an emotion. It's a way for me to express myself without words.
In this dance, Gardner is blending the traditional steps of Highland dancing with the movements of classical ballet. It's an interesting merger of strength and grace. 7 dancers from the Duluth Scottish Heritage Association are working with the ballet company, myself included. It's been very hard work.
While dancing is the full-time job of these ballet dancers, we Highland dancers all have full-time jobs. Getting in shape has been the toughest part.
I think both ballet and Scottish dancing are equally as beautiful, but I think they can also be equally as exhausting. And yes, I'm tired.
But while it's hard work, it's been a real thrill to train with the professionals of the Minnesota Ballet, and a lot of fun for all of us.
I like it because it's a lot of fun, and also because I can use my skills from Scottish dancing, and also the stuff that I learned in ballet.
It's kind of hard and kind of easy. Like, getting the beat down is hard, and learning the steps is kind of easy.
Gardner's choreography is one of an eclectic collection of dance routines which will include ballet, modern dance, Latin American, and ballroom dancing. There will be 4 performances at the Depot Theater beginning next week. In Duluth, Barbara Riles, News 6.
Our country already has so many homeless and people that are going hungry right here in the United States. What's going to happen after 5 years? People should fear what's going to happen in 5 years. If you think crime's bad now, wait until these people have no money.
They seemed real nice. The little girl was real friendly, even though she couldn't speak any English. And the mother couldn't really speak any either, just a couple of words. But they seemed real nice. It didn't seem like the father was like that.
We trying to promote the game of baseball at Duluth here. Trying to promote the Dukes a little bit, and want to invite you guys out for a free clinic and give you some pointers and some tips of the game of baseball.
You're not going to want your hands behind you.
You want to make sure your gloves broke in well, and then you got your hand in there properly so that you can really catch the ball. Okay.
I got it! Nice play!
All right, you're going to want to catch it two hands. Make sure you catch it two hands, okay? That a boy, two-handed.
No, I slipped. I had the slider in one, and I missed it.
Good, that's perfect right there.
Watch it all the way. There you go. Remember when I was a kid, people always used to help me do stuff. You know, it's a good opportunity to give back to the community and help the kids out.
Hey, trying to hurt me?
Sure.
This is fun for us. We get to come here every day and play baseball. Every pitch, you got to be concentrating. You got to be looking in.
Hammer that thing.
Swing. I'm not going that far, man. Sorry. Got to get him next camp.
Yeah.
Which one did you skip?
I think we're going to be the butt of everybody's jokes on Jay Leno and the Letterman show.
But many people are still siding with the governor, citing that regardless of your political feelings, the governor is good for business.
Awesome. Totally awesome. Anytime you can get a crowd like this, hey, why not have him be governor Monday through Friday and moonlight during the weekends doing wrestling?
Ojulu Amat told police that he sent his wife out of the family's Central Hillside apartment Friday morning. From investigators' interview with the father, they're piecing together what happened next. Amat says he slammed his infant son's head against a coffee table and stabbed his 3-year-old daughter with a knife from the kitchen. He called 911, and then his wife came home and became hysterical when she found her 2 children lying on the floor.
Police responded. The man was gone from the scene, but found one child was appeared to be dead, and another one was barely alive. Children were rushed to the hospital and later died there.
Police arrested Amat a short time later after he drove his car into a tree. He told police he tried to kill himself. Family members from the Twin Cities came to Duluth when they heard the news. Amat had left family there when he moved a few months ago. The family came to the U.S. from Africa. The caretaker at his apartment knew he was having a difficult time finding a job, but never expected such a violent scene.
They seemed real nice. The little girl was real friendly, even though she couldn't speak any English. And the mother couldn't really speak any either, just a couple of words. But they seemed real nice. It didn't seem like the father was like that.
There's a part that wants the closure, one way or another.
So I guess we'll, if I start thinking about, well, it's going to be her, then what if it's not?
Pam Poyer says she can't help but fear the worst. Now she's hoping DNA testing on this evidence will put her worries to rest.
After I think about it, I wouldn't want anything less. I need 100% accuracy, and I won't take anything less.
It'll be 3 months ago tomorrow that Katie's loved ones last saw her. They hope they'll know more about what happened to her tomorrow.
The indication was that he laid her on above the ground in a sheet, killed in the home. It all happened within a period of an hour and a half.
For over 4 years, 26-year-old Dale Jensen had denied any involvement in the disappearance of his girlfriend's 3-year-old child, Jessica Swanson. But today, when Jensen and his girlfriend Michelle Swanson were arrested in Hastings where they live, authorities say Jensen finally cracked and confessed to murder.
We have received some cooperation from Dale Jensen, who took officers to the scene of where he said he left her body.
At an afternoon news conference, Goodhue County authorities said before today's arrest, Jensen hadn't opened up, although he had been talking to an FBI agent. The sheriff says the kidnapping charge wasn't a tool to pressure Jensen into talking. They simply had run out of leads and thought the time was right to make arrest.
You go when the feeling is the time is right. You hit a moment, and knowing when that is, probably just more of a good educated guess. We just felt that the time was right. Nothing was really coming in of any significance.
The little girl's mother, Michelle Swanson, is also behind bars talking to authorities. She's charged with being an accomplice after the kidnapping. Authorities say today they have mixed emotions.
A huge sense of relief, but yet an emptiness. It's mixed emotions. It's not something you jump up and high five. You can't. I mean, we're talking about a 3-year-old child.
The mosquitoes will come up and they'll just start eating your neckline and your hairline.
There's been a big crop of the pesky pests this summer. In fact, 2 separate crops, with the current bugs being particularly aggressive. The near-record rainfall has contributed significantly to that.
If you look back at July and August, we're about 9 inches or so above what's normal for the past 2 months or so. That's a whole lot of water to just kind of be sitting around. Add to that, our humidity levels have been kind of up, which means evaporation doesn't happen that fast either. That's a lot of stagnant water just kind of lying around in your yard, and that's a perfect breeding ground for mosquitoes.
Repellents help, but they can be smelly and sticky, and some people just don't like to wear them. That's where this new device comes in. It's called the Dragonfly, named for the mosquito's most effective predator. What it does is trap mosquitoes and then electronically zap them.
It lures mosquitoes to their death by emitting a scent that emulates humans or animals. It consists of carbon dioxide, octanol, and heat, the same chemicals that are in our breath, only stronger. Mosquitoes can pick up the scent from over 100 yards away.
They are designed to find large, dark objects because they don't see well. And they live in a chemical world, whereas we live in a visual world. So they'll find chemicals and they'll fly toward where the chemicals are in their greatest concentration.
When mosquitoes or other biting insects land on the Dragonfly, they're killed instantly and dropped to a removable tray at the bottom of the device. Unlike bug zappers, they contain the insect bodies and kill silently. The Department of Agriculture has patented its product and has recently made it available for sale. In Duluth, Barbara Riles, News 6.
Be tested against something.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, tremendous. Just the amount of equipment and the the way it all works together. It's great.
You want a hot dog?
Just don't look up.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're too shy. Can you say hi?
Smile.
Ready?
Smile and say hi.
Who's out there?
Hey, buddy. Ready to smile?
And they claim to have the biggest burgers in Duluth. 1 pound, plus about 6 slabs of cheese, plus about 4 slabs of bacon.
Worked for NYS
The green. The green.
Totally colorblind.
Yeah, so are we. It was a good opportunity for us to get out with the community and the kids and to interact a little bit, get out of our squads and show that we're just as big of a part of the community as they are.
That they're people. Last time you see them on the job, it's like they're unhuman because they're the law. But when they're out there, they're just like anybody else. So
we're doing much better. We're still getting killed fast break vests because we're old and we're out of shape. Back up! I didn't have his glasses on.
What's happening at a national level too is we see large communities such as Chicago and Cleveland that have lost a large percentage of 10%, 8% of their populations, while at the same time enjoying an economic revitalization and resurgence.
Weeknights at 6:30 and again at 10:35 on Fox 21.
At 6:30 a.m., Fox Channel 21 went on the air in Duluth Superior, airing the sitcom Full House and altering history, becoming the first new network television station in the market since 1965. The station is operating out of a transmitter building just off the Central High School grounds at the base of its tower. Right now, the Fox Tower is at 560 feet, but the channel hopes to have the antenna at its full 800 feet by September 12th. And there's a lot of pressure for September 12th. That's also the day the NFL regular season begins.
Fox is a licensed network to carry NFL football, so signal strength is important to the thousands of Vikings and Packers viewers. And the station's UHF antenna has some people skeptical about how much football viewers will be able to see.
Their grade B coverage, which is where the signal is inadequate and distinguishable from snow, will be probably somewhere in the half range of the other channels in town. So those people, I would say, that are more than, say 20 miles out, would need an outdoor antenna to really get a good picture. And that may be even pushing it.
But the chief engineer at Fox Channel 21 says translators set up in strategic places will solve that problem.
These are the translators that are going to the Iron Range.
It will work. The problem will be is that you'll have to have an outdoor antenna and you'll have to point it at that direction, and that may require some people having two antennas. They'll have to point one at Duluth, say, to get the VHF stations, and one at the translator, which may be to the opposite direction or to the left or the right where they're pointing their antenna.
Translators have already been set up in Ashland, Hayward, and Ironwood, Michigan. So far, Fox says it's received no complaints, but viewership is expected to increase on those Sundays when the dating game isn't on and Vikings and Packers take over. And many people are hoping the new Channel 21 doesn't drop the ball on coverage. In Duluth, Maureen Tallarico, News 6.
Will no longer be seen once a week. Now he'll be seen 5 days a week.
Phone line is feeding us right here.
Yeah, there's 4T1 line.
Yes.
Nice to be here. I'd really like to see Lake Superior, but it's foggy. And if you notice, I have my shirt on now. It's rather chilly here.
The Strom family from Minneapolis couldn't wait to show their in-laws from Texas beautiful Lake Superior.
We get to Duluth and say, look at Lake Superior. There is no Lake Superior. It's all fog.
A not-so-glamorous view of the lake was just the beginning of their weekend getaway problems.
We have 2 carloads full of camping gear. We're all set for the North Shore. The alternator light has been on for the last 100 miles. We've had no air conditioning.
Instead of continuing their drive up the shore, they spent the next few hours at the gas station waiting for a tow truck. But no amount of bad luck will keep this family from enjoying the holiday weekend.
We're kind of anxious to get to the cabin and just relax with the Stroms and have a good family get together.
Once we get to the lake and listen to the call of the loon and have a cold one out on the dock, it'll be just great.
And now where did
Volunteers for Katie.
Lloyd Simich continues keeping the faith in what's become his corner of Moose Lake's Hope Lutheran Church.
Been the same for 106 days. Hope to hear something.
Today, Simich hears the suspect in Katie Poyer's disappearance may talk. Finally, perhaps some news about his granddaughter.
Still got hope. Still got hope. Yeah, like DNA comes out and says that's her truth, her bone. I'll take it all with a grain of salt.
Though Katie's grandpa knows all too well what authorities found on suspect Donald Blum's Moose Lake property, he's not giving up the search.
There comes my other famous one. There's Sam.
And volunteers aren't giving up either.
No, I'm not related, but I dedicate myself to these people.
Did you see a gravel pit up in that area?
Could have been. Volunteer Paul Sawgren is still hoofing it from Alexandria, even with word Blum might talk.
If we give up because of hearsay or rumors, then that's time lost.
Volunteers for Katie. Hi, babe.
Late this afternoon, Katie's mom calls, still nothing, and until there's something, Katie Poyer's family will keep the faith.
But she told him she still wanted a DNA, even if this guy admits to it, because he don't believe him no more. Don't believe any of them, like that, you know.
Frustrating, negotiating something that I don't believe in, that I don't think he should be taking. It's very frustrating. Yeah, and I got mad today and I walked out. That's all I can say. I did not know anything about that. I did not authorize that. The plays quickly or not, I am not going to make any prediction. Right, if that's the deal, I think that's pretty minimal stuff. Yeah. I'm going to have you. I don't know.
This is a little ridiculous, something this important.
It's the prayers that really affected me because they came from all over and I could feel it. The news wasn't what we wanted, but in the beginning I asked God to bring her home no matter what, and we got her home.
I know this is very difficult. I'm just wondering, you had held so much hope.
As Katie Poyer's family walked into the Hope Lutheran Church in Moose Lake, gone were the piles of Katie flyers and volunteers ready to search. This time, hundreds of friends and loved ones gathered together to support each other and remember the young woman they now know they have lost.
How long must I bear pain in my soul? And sorrow in my heart all day long.
Hope Lutheran invited pastors and ministers from other local churches to join in the packed prayer service. Their faces etched with pain, volunteers and friends joined together in a series of hymns, prayers, and moments of silence. They listened to words of advice.
to help them through this difficult time.
So that we may journey forward together out of the darkness of our shared grief.
And as a community grieves together, they also try to comfort Katie's family.
Hold Pam, Steve, Pat, and Grandpa too, as you have held Katie for these past weeks.
While Katie's family holds on to their faith, they also cling to one another. With the flickering of candles in the darkness, they try to find some measure of comfort and peace as they mourn the loss of their daughter, sister, cousin, and friend. The season is ripe for carrots and beets, peppers and tomatoes.
Up in your mouth. Yummy, huh, Rachel? Oh, good all the way down.
Time for farmers and consumers to enjoy the fruits.
Are you a honey eater?
Of a summer's labor. It's harvest time.
Everything's in its peak right now, and it comes on at this time of year. Everything comes ripe all at the same time,
And who can deny the sweet taste of success?
Isn't that good corn? Delicious. Have a bite.
Hungry visitors to the Bayfront Harvest Festival got to sample sweet corn picked fresh from the field.
Well, first you have to grow it right. These growers are grown organically on the right soil. They planted at the right time to be just perfect today.
The festival features many of the ways farmers benefit from nature's gifts, like the maple syrup that turns into a treat.
I take it, I pour it into the bowl, I start whipping air into it, and as I whip air into it, it granulates and turns into maple sugar.
Oh! I'm just doing some random strokes here for some texture. All right, in she goes.
The event also showcases the self-sufficiency of another time with blacksmithing.
Well, you can make darn near anything you want for one thing. You know, if you need a curtain rod, you make the curtain rod.
Other projects like sawmilling and spinning.
It just wraps the two together. See, now this is just about full.
Fascinated festival goers who got a chance to celebrate the cycle of the seasons.
You end up with a circle of life. You know, everything goes back into the soil, and it rests for this winter and comes back and produces again for you in the spring.
In Duluth, Kim Kaiser, News 6.
Diana Lynn Hedin last spoke with her husband Dale Tuesday night on her cell phone. The couple lives in Hoyt Lakes, and Hedin was supposed to travel to their cabin in Lake County. She never arrived. Tuesday night, she checked into the Voyager North Hotel in Virginia alone and checked out alone the next morning. And then witnesses spotted her at a nearby truck stop.
She was seen in the parking lot of the truck stop and also inside the Lucky 7 store.
Police found her Pontiac Grand Prix clean and locked up at the gas station lot. Phone records show she received a cell call at 9 a.m. Wednesday morning and then was talking with a truck driver.
From witnesses that viewed her talking to this driver, and she went into Lucky 7, come out of Lucky 7, and proceeded to get into the semi-truck.
Car trouble doesn't appear to be a problem. Her car, driven back to the police station in Hoyt Lakes, was in fine working order. Her luggage was gone and nothing appeared disrupted inside. The mystery baffles her family, friends, and colleagues. Hadeen worked at this Aurora pharmacy for years until just recently.
I didn't know what to think. I have no idea. I just hope that she's fine and really don't know what to think, really.
And a mysterious piece of mail is the last contact anyone has had with Hadeen.
Somebody mailed, it's her handwriting on an envelope that was mailed down in the Mankato postal area with a Thursday's date on it that it was mailed down there. There was a check in there that she was sending to her aunt in Shakopee for some cosmetics that she had purchased and apparently needed to pay for.
Hadeen does not abuse alcohol or drugs, and authorities describe her marriage as healthy. None of the normal explanations for a person missing apply. And this quiet community is cautiously awaiting news of her whereabouts. In Hoyt Lakes, Maureen Tallarico, News 6.
It appears what we have here is a man who is just so angry, and he's just not going to let anybody tell him what to do or what not to do. He's just going to do what he feels he has to, he can.